Hi guys, and welcome back to Hairdryer Treatment. I'm joined by Lee Chappy. He thinks I'm going to banter him tonight, and I'm not quite sure why he's thinking that. Lee, how are you doing?
I'm feeling like you're going to banter me. You know why you're going to banter me. Come on, just start. Let's get it done with.
No, we'll talk about yesterday's game. Firstly, I mean, obviously we ended up with a 2-0 win. That wasn't really a reflection in the game, in my opinion. I thought it was a game where both teams looked dead on their feet. Both teams looked shattered. I mean, as a Leicester fan, what was your thoughts on that game yesterday?
I think we didn't take a chances when we had them, and I think we subbed off Kelechi Iheanacho too early, and Wes Morgan had a free swing at the ball and hit fresh air. If that was anyone else, I think like a striker like Vardy or Iheanacho, I think that would have gone in. I think Iheanacho could have squared one as well to his right, and probably put James Justin in, but that's the difference in quality. I think with squad depth and stuff, we've just not got. And we were talking about it off camera a minute ago about injuries, and Leicester were plagued with injuries with our star man Ricardo Pereira and James Maddison both out since the return. I blame that on our downfall, to be honest.
I mean, we've had a similar situation, obviously, but luckily after the lockdown, we've had players returning from injury at the right possible time. Leicester, I think, has kind of been the opposite to us, where since lockdown has happened, you've had obviously a poor run of results. I believe it's like relegation form since lockdown. But I mean, I want to focus on the positives for Leicester at the minute. You mentioned Jamie Vardy being a proper striker. He's just won the Golden Boot at the age of 33. That's just incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's honestly, he doesn't get the credit for what kind of striker he is, and he is a 20-goal-a-season man, and he don't seem to get the credit. He gets ridiculed online for being a one-season wonder. He's done this since he's came into the Premier League. Apart from the first season where we struggled and we got a great escape season, he's outrageous for considering he's playing for Leicester. It's like Danny Ings at Southampton. No one thought it was going to very close to touching Vardy's record this season. It's mad. It's mad. Do you think it'd have done well at a bigger club like Man United, or?
I'd still take him at United now. I'm not going to lie. I just think he's that clinical in front of goal. And I think with Vardy, that surprises me. Obviously, he's a very quick player. And normally players like him, as they're getting older, they rely on the pace and they obviously lose the yard of pace and they become less effective. But he's proven again, like, how much longer do you think he can play for at the top level? Because he's not relying on pace. His instinct, his movement's clever. As you know, he does not stop pestering defenders. And yesterday, when both of our centre-backs got booked, I agree with you on Iheanacho going off too early. Because I was thinking, like, someone's going to get sent off here. If you run at us, we're in trouble. But it just didn't seem to happen yesterday. I think we defended well, and credit for that. But I do think Vardy, like I say, with age, it's like a fine wine.
Yeah, he's just got better and better. Hang on, I've got echoing in my ear for some reason. Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear anything.
I can hear myself talking, so that's weird. Never mind. Don't matter.
Is that any better? I've tried.
No, for some reason I can hear myself like echo, but who cares? Carry on. Yeah. So Jamie Vardy, this season, before the season started, he had a bleep test and it's his best he's ever done. His heart rate was the best he's ever achieved. His fitness levels is the best he's ever achieved. He's bonkers at 33. He's still going. I think he's got probably 2 years left, at least.
It's crazy, but fair play to him, like I say, and that's a positive for Leicester to finish on at least. But in terms of losing out on the Champions League, I mean, you were in top four for the majority of the season until lockdown, like we mentioned, and injuries kind of took over. Do you think it's been a good season for Leicester overall, or deep down are you gutted?
I think if you reversed it round and we started really poor and we just belted all the way to Europa, I think we'd be dead happy, a bit like Tottenham Hotspur. They're like celebrating like they've won the league. They've pinched Europa. But the fact remains, if it was that way round, yes, but because we threw away such a prestigious tournament like the Champions League, which you don't really get into, to be honest, because you don't, do you?
No,
you don't. Not as a team outside the Big Six. It's the golden ticket, and I don't think we're going to get another chance as we did this season. I really don't think.
Well, I still cannot get my head around the fact that we finished third after the season we have had. I think Bruno obviously was a massive turning point for us, but then I just think like the points that we have dropped. And some of the defending at times and how boring we have played, like to think that we've finally got third is a massive achievement, and I'm so happy for it because, like what you said, not every season is our team's going to bottle the battle for top four like they have done this season. And it's kind of been, it's you know what I mean? I can't believe we've got third, but it just shows the quality of the league this season. So many teams have been dropping points, haven't they?
Yeah, inconsistent. The top teams outside of obviously Liverpool, and even Man City, let's be honest, who dropped, 9 games, I think, this season? I don't know. It's just an inconsistent season.
Do you think it shows like the standard of the league dropping, or the fact that Liverpool were so far ahead and obviously they've won the league by so many points or so many games early? Do you think it's showing that, or do you think it's a case of us, Chelsea, even Leicester in some cases, we're in a team transition? Obviously, you had Rodgers come in. Is that the reason why? I want to thank you to little BCAS as well for the super sticker. Appreciate it. But yeah, do you think that the standard of the Premier League has dipped?
I don't know. I mean, some people say that no one performed when Leicester won the league. That's how some people say it on social media.
Yeah,
Leicester won the league by 10 clear points, but on one of the lowest lowest points tally ever in the Premier League. One of, not the lowest. I think actually Man United hold that in about the third or second time you won it. But I mean, yeah, I'd say so. I'd say really most teams have underperformed. You only got to look at the gap. What are you guys? 33 points behind the leaders.
Yeah.
In fourth. That's mad.
The gap is huge.
It's
crazy. I know, and that's what I mean. Like for me, it shows like a lot of teams are transitioning, and I'm hoping that obviously with the right signings we can start to compete next year and close that gap a little bit. But definitely, it's an interesting one. Thank you to Nicole for tuning in. Hope you're good, Nicole. Yes, Lee Vardy says Samson. Someone's asking here if you're Vardy's brother. Do you want to clear this up, Lee, for the people in the chat?
I did quite a lot of lookalike double work and stuff back in 2016 when it just went a bit too mental, and agencies grabbed me and the media grabbed me, and I got chucked into a washing machine, pressed the button, and woof, it went round. It was horrible. People don't realise what the media is like, and if you're in it, then you really do know. And I've been in it, and I know how vicious and sick it can be. How people sell stories and make stories, and you name it. It's horrible. It's horrible. I hated every minute of it. In the end.
No.
But I've done some sick stuff. I've done some commercials. Body doubling up for Vardy in a commercial over in Portugal. I've been in a TV series called Lookalikes on Channel 4. I've done all sorts of funny stuff, but I'm trying to move away from that because I do Leicester content as well.
Lee Chappy. It's Lee Chappy.
Yeah.
And guys, make sure you go sub to Lee as well.
Yeah, just hit 2K. I know, just hit 2K.
Congratulations on hitting 2K as well. A great achievement.
Yeah.
So it makes you feel worth it, doesn't it? When you hit like big milestones like that, it gets it, definitely. Dennis has asked who my favourite player is this season. I'm guessing you mean for United or maybe in general, but I just want to touch on firstly Jordan Henderson, Football Writers Award Player of the Season. What is your thoughts on that? From obviously a Leicester and neutral point of view, what's your point?
I don't think he's the greatest player of in the midfield area of the field, but I've got to say he's one hell of a captain. He's passionate and he's one hell of a captain. Yeah. He's a leader. He is a leader. I think Leicester are missing a leader, to be honest with you, on that field. I feel like we are. Since probably Harry Maguire, who I thought possibly would be captain if he stayed on, and look at him now at Man United. He is a leader.
That's what he's given us. That's what he's given us because we lack that massively. Obviously, Bruno brings that as well. But that's what Maguire, I have said, obviously we overpaid for him. Of course, he is very slow. I get that. But he has improved us at the back. And I felt like that was something we really lacked. But in terms of Leicester, and you've mentioned the lack of a leader. In the transfer window, what do you see? Not having Champions League, do you think that's going to hold you up majorly? Yeah. Can you see many newcomers coming in?
I'm a bit worried, actually, because we missed out on Champions League. I have a feeling Ben Chilwell is going to go anyway. I think that's on the cards, to be honest with you. Yeah, and you know what? If that's the case, 50, 60 million, I'll take him in my own car. I'll take him first class. I don't mind. But I mean, in terms of purchases, we've been linked to Luka Jovic from Real Madrid, and I think we've been linked to the Algerian guy from Brentford. Is it Ben Rama?
Oh yes.
We've been linked to him.
Arsenal have been linked with him as well, haven't they? I think. I saw a little an image earlier.
Yeah.
He's been doing well in the Championship, to be fair.
Yeah.
Brentford obviously just missed out on promotion, didn't they? So it'd be interesting to see if he does leave Brentford.
But what about yourselves?
Surely.
Turn the question around. What about yourselves? Because you got Champions League football. Do you think the deal for Sancho will go through?
I'm always one I don't like to get sucked in until I see them holding the shirt, because United, you know, it's like we're linked with every man and his dog, and it gets frustrating. But Sancho, it just feels to me like it's inevitable, like it is going to happen. And I think Champions League kind of it's sealed that for me. And I think it's a matter of time. I do think Sancho will be at United, and I think we're lacking quality on that right hand side. Greenwood, I think, has done fantastic since lockdown coming in, scored some crucial goals for us. Dan James for me is more of that squad player. It's not the out-and-out quality that we need. I think you bring him on against tight defences or if you're counter-attacking. So I think Sancho adds a lot of quality. For me, I still think we need a midfielder, because obviously Matis is filling that void at the moment in CDM. I still think we need an experienced centre midfielder, and I would still fancy another centre back.
Wilfred Ndidi.
Ndidi, I would love him. I would absolutely love him.
No.
But I do feel that's the kind of mould of player that we need. Someone who's going to be able to sit in front of the back four and protect and let Pogba and Bruno play. And obviously, I think a centre back to partner Maguire would be good as well. But yeah, I think Sancho is a definite. I think Grealish as well is a possibility. Now he's kept Villa up. I think it might be the perfect story for him. He's kept up the team that he loved, and that is his job done now. And he owes really nothing to Villa, does he? So I think that'll be an interesting one. Little Big House, thank you. Says I like watching your live chat, Sophie. And Mark, keep up the good work. Mark, obviously, United Stand is doing fantastic work. Make sure you go and subscribe to the United Stand as well as Lee. But yeah, I think 3 players. That's what I'm expecting. I don't expect any more than that in the transfer window. But I do think Sancho will be one of them players. Can you see Sancho joining us?
Yeah, I mean, why not? Biggest club technically in the world. Get outside of probably Barca, Real Madrid, PSG. Sort of, you're in that level, aren't you? So it's a massive move for any player, really. Let's be honest. But what about Leicester's squad? Is there anyone you'd really like to take, except for Ndidi, of course, who we've just spoke about? Is there anyone else?
Ndidi, I think, is quality. There's a few players. Tielemans, I do rate Tielemans, but I think
he's been off the gas.
Yeah, he has. Why do you think that is, though? Because he's obviously so talented. He hit the ground running, didn't he? Leicester, and obviously kept him.
I think.
Why do you think it is?
I think he put himself in the shop window when he was on loan.
Yeah.
When he was first on loan, I think he's put himself in the shop window, played his heart out to get the signing, got the signing, got comfortable, and he just looks gassed all the time. I don't know if you've seen him, but he's always red-faced, he's blowing. I don't think that kid's got 90 minutes in him. I really don't. Is there any questions on my channel at all for Sophie at all for the Manchester United side of things? Get your comments in, guys.
In terms of, I'll reverse that. If you could choose one United player, then who would you choose and why?
And that doesn't matter at all.
Doesn't matter. If you're talking purely, it could be anybody. Yes.
Oh man, Mason Greenwood is. Oh man, he's an exciting.
I love him.
He is such an exciting player. I think he's going to be world class. I really believe that. So I'd take him all day long. But that's for future. For right now, someone established. You got to go World Cup winner Paul Pogba. There's no doubt about it. You've got to.
Over Bruno, the impact that he's had.
You mean Penendez?
What's your thoughts, Fernandez? What is your thoughts on Bruno? Obviously, he has scored a lot of penalties. Some of them people say debatable. For me, I'd say it's clever play from him. I think he's so intelligent. I think last few games, if I'm honest, he's been poor. But even so, we still saw he contributed to the goal against you. I know Greenwood won the ball back initially, but he's still so important to us. And I feel like we need him there, even just for his presence. Like I said, I mentioned his brother, that leadership. He just lifts the whole squad, and that's what I love about him. And I mean, from a neutral point of view, obviously you said Penendez. Surely you see the talent. Surely you see.
Yeah, I do. But I think I've got a sour feeling to him because of the amount of penalties he's winning, and it's just one of those things. Sorry, but I tell you,
he has a lot of penalties.
One kid that I'm really impressed with at United is Williams, who's took over with Shaw because of the injuries. Watching him play with Rashford, I think it was against West Ham. It was some link-up play with Rashford and Penendez, triangle play stuff. Oh man, yeah, he seems like he could be a little good player as well.
Yeah, he is. To be fair, he had that knock on his eye, didn't he? I felt for 2 games after that, he didn't see him himself. But I thought he played well against you again the other day. Was it
Johnny Evans that took him out? Was it Johnny Evans that took him out of the game at the end with the red card? Who did he take out for the red card? Studs up and everything.
It was McTominay.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, it's McTominay. Yeah. Evans, always a red. We've all said it. But Mustafa, thank you so much for the super chat. It says, hi guys, great content. What are your thoughts on Maguire and his transition from Leicester to United? He's plays for both teams, so if you could discuss his strengths and his weaknesses and what can he improve on? His pace for me is a massive weakness. I'm sure you've seen the same at Leicester with him as well.
Yeah, he was always called the fridge on wheels. Always.
It reminds me of the wardrobe from Beauty and the Beast, and I've always said that.
Yes.
Always.
But he is class. Off the pitch.
I still love him.
So I got a little story for you. So my lad, 2018, my lad was really poorly. He's got a rare condition called nephrotic syndrome. He's fine now, but he was in hospital, and Harry Maguire is his favourite player. I captured a little video of him singing, "Oh, Harry Maguire plays for Leicester," the chant that we used to sing for him before he moved. And not only did he retweet it, but he also sent my lad James a message as well, a video message. So absolute class.
Yeah, I love to hear anything like that. He strikes me as that guy. He seems quite humble. You always see his family tweeting stuff on Twitter and stuff as well, going to support him obviously at the games. And I just like I say, he's put that element of discipline, element of the captain material that we've massively lacked. And that, like I say, other than his slabhead, as we like to call him, in the air, he's been fantastic for us. But I expected more goals from him. Obviously, for Leicester, you saw he scored quite a few goals, attacking corners. He hasn't done that for United. Why do you think that is? Is it service?
No, I think we play that ball more than you. Michael Brighton, I think, crosses the ball more than he actually passes the ball along the floor. Like that bloke's got problems. He just loves whipping them in. I think we were a team that we've kind of relied on set pieces from Harry Maguire's head. So you see it more often. That was the play, you know. You guys play it fast on the floor and stuff. So at the time, that's how it was. I think I've got a question for you in here. Where was it? Who do you think will win the Champions League this season?
Good question. It feels like that long. I can't remember who's left in it. Man City. Obviously are still in it. I think they're in with a good shot of it as well, to be honest, because I wouldn't be surprised if Pep obviously goes all out for that now, considering what's happened this season. It'll shut a lot of haters up if they get a Champions League. I don't know, actually. Who even left in it? Real Madrid?
Honestly, I've got no idea. It feels like so long ago, Sophie. It just feels like so long ago.
It does. You know what? I'm going to go with Real Madrid. And I know that they're on a bit of a tricky draw with City. They've just obviously won the Liga. Real Madrid, you always have to put them up there as competitors. They just know how... Yeah, Juventus are still in there. Madrid are still in there. Let us know in the chat who else is still in there. Bayern are still in there, see Bayern as well. If they're still in there. I don't know if they are, though. It seems that long ago. I can't even remember. I'm going to say Real Madrid is my guess, purely because they're just incredible in the Champions League and they know how to win it. They're experienced. They'll have a bit of a rest before the Champions League starts as well. So I'm going to say Real Madrid. But this is purely me just guessing over previous experiences with Real Madrid. What about you, then? The teams that have been mentioned. So we've got Juventus, PSG, someone said. They think they're still in it.
Pep's job. I think Pep's job's on the line to win it. He's got to win it.
That's what I think. I think he's going to go all out for it. And I said that, at the start of this season, after he won the league last year.
You've got to.
I said, I've got a feeling that his priority is going to be Champions League this season. And I felt that from the off. I remember saying that in a stream early on. I'm not saying he just let Liverpool win the league. Of course, Liverpool were the better team. But it gives him more of a reason to go all out for it now, doesn't it? Alex, thank you for the super chat. Question for Lee. Who would be in your all-time greatest Leicester City starting 11? Also, thoughts on Schmeichel and Evans helping United win yesterday? Yeah,
we've done an all-time 11 before on Leicester Fan TV. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a very strong one. I had Gary Lineker in, obviously. Jamie Vardy in, obviously, as well. I think Jamie Vardy's probably, the greatest Leicester player ever. I'm sure we can talk about that golden boot over and over and over now as a Leicester fan. Riyad Mahrez has got to be in there. Esteban Cambiaso. I know he was only here for a season, but my word, what a player he was.
What a player, yeah.
We could talk about it all day. Muzzy Is It? If you remember Muzzy Is It? I don't know how old you are.
Yeah, I do remember Muzzy Is It. I used to just love Muzzy Is It's name. I used to love his name. Muzzy Is It. I used to absolutely love it.
Yeah, Alan Smith as well. Very, very great. Very good player. Obviously, more of an Arsenal legend probably than a Leicester one. And we've had some good goalkeepers as well, don't forget. We've had them all. We've had the Banksy, and it's mad. We've had Shilton, and that's before my time. So the best thing to do would be go on the LeicesterFanTV.com. I'm part of, and there's an all-time 11 there that we voted on.
Go Go and check it out. Kante, someone said in the chat as well. What about Kante? Surely
obviously, N'Golo Kante is going to be there. Obviously.
Definitely. Right, let's answer this super chat that we've just had. If Sancho is 100 million and our budget is 150 million, who would you still sign him and free for other players to increase our squad depth? I think we need to get rid of a few players as well, if I'm honest on that one. It's a lot of money, but I knew that would happen. He's English, and we know what happens. We saw what happened with Maguire, for example. For me, I think we're massively lacking on that right-hand side, and I would say I'll go all out for him. But it's a difficult one because it's a lot of money, isn't it? I mean, from an outside looking in, if we were to sign Sancho for 100 million, what would you guys be saying?
It's a lot of money, isn't it?
It is.
It's a lot of money. I mean,
is it that good?
We're building a bloody state-of-the-art training facility for £100 million.
There you go. Put it in perspective a little bit.
It's going to be up there with like the best teams in the world, and it's going to be in Leicester. It's weird, and that's nearly ready. And that's £100 million. And you get one player for it. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's mad. Like I said, I expect us to get rid of a few. Phil Jones is one. I think Jesse Lingard, that could possibly have been his last goal yesterday against you. I think players like that.
I can't believe he scored. I can't believe he scored. Casper,
it had to be Jesse.
What was Casper doing? I think Casper looked in the stands and he's seen his dad sitting there going, "You know what to do, son."
Derry says we should get 80 million for Jones. Is that purely just for his entertainment purposes? Surely he's that guy. Someone just reminded me as well. Like you mentioned about Leicester players who would take it United. Madison as well is another one that I'm a big fan of. But obviously, if we're getting Grealish, I don't think we need Madison.
No,
I think it's kind of one or the other. Yeah. Similar players.
I'll ask you then, because I think it will be in my chat. So I'll ask you, Madison or Grealish?
I always used to say Madison. I always used to like Madison's quality. And then you saw more Grealish carrying this poor Aston Villa team, and you think. But I'll always be honest, I think Grealish is frustrating for me. It takes too many touches on the ball.
Yeah.
So I think if he did come to United, we'd have to iron that out of his game. He'd obviously need coaching. In terms of ability, quality, and in terms of realistically who can we get, I think Grealish is the more viable option. So I'll go Grealish.
Yeah.
I don't think Madison will leave Leicester. He's got no reason to, really.
No, he should. Well, I don't know if this is true or not, but I mean, what I've seen is that he's just signed a £95,000 deal a week with a 3-year extension. So that's either to stay at Leicester or that's to up his price for the sale. It's one or the other, isn't it? So.
Yeah, I think Grealish should be the one to come to us, to be honest. I think his comments after the Villa game, when he basically said he's living in the moment, he just wants to keep Villa up. He kind of brushed aside any transfer comments.
Yeah.
For me, if he wasn't leaving, he would have spoke about that. Then he didn't. Any other time he's been questioned, he says he's a Villa player. He shows his dedication, and that time he didn't really want to talk about it. And of course, it could be the fact he's just focusing on staying up. Obviously, they had a relegation battle to win, but for me, I don't know. I've got a niggling feeling that he's coming to United. And like I say, it'd be the perfect story for him. But to round this video off, I want to say hello to Amy in the chat as well. Hope you're good, Amy. If you could give Leicester's season a rating out of 10, what would you give it and why?
I'm going to go... I know we bottled the Champions League, but when you think Leicester City, we're not one of the big boys. The elite, the established... media biased 6. Sorry, that's just how I see it. We're the other 4. We're the other 14. We're the other 14. I think if you said at the start of the season that we would have got into Europe football of any kind, I think Leicester fans would have snapped your hand off, to be honest. So
yeah, I agree.
Take that out of the equation that we dropped out of Champions League and we still got Europa. Yeah, I didn't really want Thursday night football. I wanted Champions League, but it'll do. It will do. It proves that we are getting further to where the owners wanted us to go to, and that's to be a top team. Can't ask any more. So 8 out of 10. We've got 8 out of 10.
I don't think that's a fair judgment because, like we mentioned off camera earlier, up until the lockdown, you were consistently in the top 4, playing good football, scoring goals, and it kind of dried up after that break. Injuries have cost you a bit, and I think you have to take that into consideration. Injuries have affected us this season, and obviously it's going to affect other clubs, isn't it, like Leicester? And I think that Rodgers, I like him as a manager. Don't like playing against him as a manager, but I do think he's a very good manager, and I think he's definitely a good appointment for Leicester. And I would agree with 8 out of 10. I think it's been a decent season. Thank you to Ryan for the super chat.
Yeah, well, I've only got one question for you, and I usually go off topic, away from football, just for a bit of banter. And I'm going to ask you the question: does pineapple belong on pizza?
No. Straight answer, no, definitely not. Should be
Get in the
banned.
comments. Get in the comments on your channel.
No.
Get the comments in. Is it pineapple on
Definitely not.
pizza? Yes or no? Come on, get those comments in. I
Not for
want to
me.
know.
I'm not a fan. I want to know. Do you think? Do you
No.
eat pineapple? You eat pineapple on pizza, don't you?
No. Unfortunately, I'm a vegetarian for diet reasons. So you can't have pineapple on its own. You've got to have ham and pineapple. So it's a no from me.
True. Yeah, I think ham and pineapple is wrong, but just a pineapple pizza now, that would be very bizarre to be fair.
I'm looking at your comments now. It's no, definitely yes.
There's
No.
a few people saying yes.
Oh dear, there's loads.
Pineapple is good. No, definitely not for me. I love that, but
it's a 50-50, isn't it? It is a 50-50 split.
yeah, but okay. So what? Obviously, you said vegetarian. So what would be your preferred pizza then? What would be your ideal topping?
I love my mushrooms, so I'm gonna go double, triple mushrooms with.
Is that because you're a fun guy?
Hey, and I'm good on parties as well. Chat shit, get banged, and all that.
No, it's been a pleasure to have you on. I really appreciate it, Lee.
Yeah, and yourself. It's brilliant.
Absolute pleasure. We'll have to do this again, definitely. But yeah, 8 out of 10, I would agree with that rating. 8 out of 10 for United for me, because nobody expected us to get third. I'm just hoping we can close that gap that we mentioned earlier. But
yeah,
I'm sad the season's over. Can't wait for it to start
but
again.
But it's not quite. If you're really ridiculously into football, you know there's only about 8 days gap of no football, because there's the Europa, there's the Champions League, there's the Scottish stuff no one's interested in. But I'm talking, if you're into football, there's loads on. Then you got the England, don't forget, as well. What is it, Nations League thing, whatever it's called, that's on as well.
Yeah,
apparently there's only about 8 days gap with no football on, so it's not that bad.
That's not that bad, no. Obviously, we are still in Europa League. I think we're kind of forgetting about that because Champions League done and dusted. But let's see if we can get a trophy as well. That'd be a perfect end. And I think that rating would improve a little bit, to be fair. To get a trophy and qualify for the Champions League for Ollie, you've got to say that's been a great season. We haven't played well at times, but we've pulled over the line, and that's the main thing, isn't it? So, guys, make sure you go and subscribe to Lee's channel. Go and support him. He's got hit 2K today. Let's keep adding to that, definitely. Obviously, if you're new, subscribe to Hairdryer Treatment as well. I'd really appreciate it. Lee, if you just tell people where they can find you on your socials. Yeah,
I'm Lee Chappy on everything. Insta, Twitter, and YouTube. Lee_Chappy. You'll find me.
Love that. Brill. And Alex said, can United win the Europa League? Thank you again for the super chat, Alex. But yeah, I think we can win the Europa League. For me, I would rotate a little bit. I don't want to get anybody injured, so I think it'd be an interesting one. But can we win it? Of course we can win it, definitely. A lot of people saying I was talking to Jamie Vardy. I'm not. It's Lee Chappy. He's his own person. His own person.
It's mad. Honestly, it's mad. My social media is going to go bonkers after this. You know
that. A big up to Meg in the chat as well. But yeah, Lee, thank you so much, guys. Hit that sub button, please, if you are new. We'd appreciate it. Hit a like on the video, and if you have missed your comments in the chat, please do drop a comment afterwards, and I'll definitely check those as well. All I have to say is have a great evening. Look after yourselves. Keep smiling, and we'll speak to you very soon.